Hello to you again, soul brothers and sisters, and welcome to another episode of the Awakening Journey, remembering who we are. And this time we have another wonderful special guest, Karim El Koussa, who was a longtime friend. I knew him since I was 20 years old. He is a famous author, historian, novelist. I'll soon let him introduce himself. He is author of Jesus the Phoenician, Pythagoras the mathematician, and lots of other things. Karim has had a very peculiar life of awakening, and whatever he will share today, he will share two things. First, his journey of awakening, and the next part would be his historical research and the spirituality, all the stuff, the juicy stuff that everyone is now looking for. So, for people who just joined in, I remind you that this series is like courses, lessons, one after the other. If you find any of the terms we discuss new to you, just go back to the first episode and watch them all over again. And now, hello, Karim, welcome, and thank you for joining me.
Hello, dear friend Nadine. It's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah, thank you for having me here on the show.
It's a pleasure, Karim. It's a pleasure. So, would you like to introduce us to the audience? How would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, well, I'm an awardly Lebanese international author, published author in the US, in Lebanon, and in France, with four books. Um, Pythagoras the mathematician, the Jesus the Phoenician Code, and the recent one is the Kabbalistic Visions.
Mm-hmm.
One of my books, the Phoenician Code, has been released in Lebanon and in France, and it is a project for a TV series in the US. Still, we are hoping to get it done, to find a home for it.
Let's hope so.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I'm into history, religion, I'm into philosophy, and all the esoteric insights and the occult. So it's been a while, like more than 30 years I'm into this.
Yes, and here I want to apologize. I need a parenthesis because I want to tell the audience something about you. I don't know if you remember it. So let me tell you about Karim. Karim is this huge encyclopedia that you really want in your homes. You know, this really precious thing that you have. When we were in our 20s, I knew Karim. We were the group who wanted to plan to go out this Saturday here, there, have our drinks. And Karim was just different. He was on his cloud, esotericism, stuff like that. He would say things that we wouldn't understand. All we cared about were our tequila shots and stuff like that. And the first, I still remember, Karim, the first book you wrote. I think it was called Reflecting
Yeah,
Unitas.
yeah, that is
Yeah,
self-published. Yeah,
yeah, it was self-published. It was like, what is he talking about? And I remember it was a New Year's Eve. We were the whole bunch, the group. And I remember you looked at me and you told me you have a white aura. And I go like, aura? What is he talking about? You know, I used to read like James Redfield, Celestine Prophecy, but
yeah.
aura, look where Karim was in the awakening and where we were, the bunch of people, where are we going to go out and swim and do? So
Yeah, but Nadine, I used to enjoy this, having time with you and the group of people. It's fun,
it was
you
fun.
know. So
Yes,
I
yes.
enjoy that. Definitely, I'm not coming from higher spheres here on earth to be different than you. I'm just an ordinary man who has been awakened because you started to ask the questions.
Uh-huh. And
Uh,
now we're gonna begin with Karim. I mean, how did it begin with you? Because what is awakening if you just bumped into the series? So we live this life, we go to school, university, work, and we think this is it. But then at some point we ask questions. Is that all there is? Isn't there more? And is the system right? The religion? You start asking these questions. This is the beginning of awakening. So walk us through your journey of awakening. I know you're a fun person, you're everything, you're all that there is, but the thing is that you were a pioneer in the awakening among our group. So walk us through your journey. How did it begin with you, and how did it lead you to the path that you have chosen? I mean, as the author, the researcher.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, it's a long journey, and it started when I was maybe 16 or 17. I started to ask these questions. Who are we? What is our role here on Earth? What's the future? Are there any cosmic or celestial beings around us? So these are the questions that you started to ask, and whether you wanted it or not, suddenly you started to feel more and more probing into what could give you a hint here and there about your questions. And and I think one of the major books that changed my life into understanding or into feeling something of supernatural around me is the Egyptian Book of the Dead.
Ah,
Yeah, I was in Scotland on a trip to Scotland, and there I found I went into a library and got the acquired a copy of the Egyptian Book of the Dead as well as the Tibetan Book of the Dead.
about what age you are here so that we have a time frame?
Around 16, 17, around
Ah,
that time.
that young. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So, when you started to ask these questions and you suddenly,
The universe gives
uh,
you answers. The universe gives you
yeah,
answers. Yeah.
exactly. And some of the answers led me to Egyptian Book of the Dead and the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And I used to, at night, I used to read from the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Egyptian one. And it's on the table next to my bed. And suddenly, and I started at the time meditating.
You had learned to meditate at age 17. And at that
Yeah,
time, in our generation, we haven't heard about meditation a lot.
yeah, yeah. I started that. And
Mm,
sometime on that fine line between being awakened, I mean, not sleeping and going to sleep on
theta
that
wave,
time, on that,
theta wave, theta wave, I think.
yeah, on that
Mm,
fine line, something happened to me.
mm,
And I started to, I never talked about this before, and
mm.
this is for you, Nadine, and for the
Thank you,
audience.
thank you, thank you. This is for the
Yeah,
audience,
really,
yes.
it's a personal experience, but this I think was the beginning of going into that dimension.
Mm.
It's about on that at that time I started to see geometrical shapes in the room, in my room, around my bed, and these shapes of different colors, but they are not physical. I
Can
mean,
I can
they
I
are
can I point out to this poster something like that? The poster behind
uh,
me?
maybe, but these are
Okay.
geometrical shapes, different shapes,
Okay.
uh, with different colors. Basically, I think it was the main colors were red, green,
Mm.
and maybe blue, um, but different shapes. And at that time, I felt paralyzed. I was not able to move. I'm in the bed.
Because of fear, or
No, no,
because of something else?
no, not fear. It's a
Mm.
presence
Mm.
because of the
Mm.
presence.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And because, when you see this, it's it's different.
Mm.
And And immediately I tried to catch these objects, but I was not able to because they're not physical. I mean, they're transparent. So it's like light, different lights formed into geometrical shapes. All right. Um, and this event happened many times, not only one time. It started like this, and then it developed into something different.
And I want
Uh,
to remind the readers that at that time you did not have social media, we didn't have YouTube, you didn't have any smartphone. So you're experiencing this on your own. Okay, continue.
yeah, and then I started to hear voices. All while I was experiencing this, I was not able to move. I did a lot of effort to move my hand in order to catch the objects, but as I said, they were transparent, so they were
Hmm.
light taking geometrical forms. Now, when I sensed the presence, the peaceful presence, the loving presence, I tried to establish a contact with these objects or with these lights,
Hmm.
but I was not able to hear a response. But the next day, the days that followed, I heard voices and I saw beings, a shape of a woman walking near me without a face, and she was whispering in my ear.
Was she white? Was she white?
She was wearing all in white,
Yes.
but I cannot see the
Hmm.
her facial features.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she came close to my bed and she whispered to me. She said to me, Kareem, Kareem, it's about time.
Mm.
And
Did she give a name? Did she give you a name?
no, no, not a name.
A being of
This
light. She's a being
this
of
is
light. Yeah.
exactly. So this is what I heard,
Mm.
and without any facial features, but all in white. This followed the previous geometrical shapes of light, you know. And then I think it was, and it ended with that message.
Mm.
And I tried to establish a contact again. I was not successful.
You had already
So this,
received the codes. You had already received the codes, the
yeah, so
geometry.
it was exactly. So that was the beginning of my spiritual journey,
Mm-hmm.
of my awakening into the esoteric,
Mm.
the hidden knowledge of religion. Because what is esotericism? It's the hidden uh, concepts of religion.
Mm-hmm.
When you go deep into religion, you will understand. For example, the New Testament, the Gospel of John, is
We're
full
gonna
of
go.
esoteric.
We're gonna go there, most certainly. But you gave me the creeps. I mean, the story. I want to thank you, Karim, for sharing this with us because really everyone in the series are telling their personal stories. This is to help people awaken because they too will soon start remembering who they are. And we are telling our personal stories to help everybody remember. And I want to thank you for sharing this. This is an honor, really, for sharing this for the first time. This is very private.
Yeah, I've been keeping this for myself for a long time. I
Mm,
only talked about it with my mentor, who is a priest,
mm,
a Christian priest, but is and very knowledgeable in esoteric Christianity. And we
mm.
talked about that and all the idea behind it.
This
So
is amazing.
the
Yeah.
so what I want to say is that started the beginning of the journey.
Yes.
And not only, for example, I was not only focusing on history and religion and philosophy in my quest for answers, uh, but something pushed me to go into the field of spirituality and esotericism after these experiences.
Mm-hmm.
that I had.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me understand that we are here on Earth on a mission, and this mission is to walk the path of light that will actually. I believe that one day this individual consciousness that I'm experiencing, a lot of people are experiencing, will be collective one in I don't know when, but it will be a collective consciousness
We're
because
moving
we're
from
all
separation to unity, you mean? Yes. Yes.
yeah
Mm-hmm.
because we're all coming from the same source. Sometimes it takes time for more people to be awakened, or it takes them many lifetimes
Mm-hmm.
because reincarnation is something that exists. Uh, we are some of us are ancient souls who have been here before, and we are here to continue. So the journey, and our role is to help others who needs help. Actually, there are a lot of people who need help. So our mission is to not only to lead ourselves into the path of truth and light, but also to bring with us a lot of people who are actually they need this.
Yes,
Some
because
people are afraid to experience this. Some people are uh, busy doing a lot of other things in life, but this is nothing when
mm,
compared to the spiritual world, to the awakening.
remembering who we actually are. That's the
Exactly.
thing. We got so separated. Now, here I want to talk about something. Thank you for this information. I want to bridge the information. So, I was thinking civilization has been, if we look at it, we have been for thousands and thousands of years on Earth. Civilization was like going, walking up in the light and so on. And at some point in history, it's like I downloaded this image, like we fell into a hole, dark hole, and civilization stayed there in this dark hole for hundreds and thousands of years, thinking that this is everything, okay? But some individuals started climbing up, up, up to start to see what's outside there, what's outside there. And for years now, if you go and you see the research that has been now shared online and mainstream media, not mainstream media, all over the place, you have historians discovering new sites, new things, new places, adding to the truths. You have also people going to, from these historians, you have Graham Hancock, who
Yeah.
I trust a lot. You have also Mathieu Lacroix, who started talking, Billy Carson, and all these people digging truth about ourselves. It's like civilization fell into this deep darkness and they believed that that was all of it. And then suddenly, those people who started, the pioneers who started collecting both historical data and spiritual data, because you have people like Paul Wallace and the others who are reading the Bible and the sacred books again, and the book of Enoch and the Torah and everything, and they are discovering that lots of the meaning was lost either in translation, some things were deleted, or even whatever we are reading, we are interpreting it wrong, not in
Yeah.
the light, in the darkness. I mean, when Jesus gives you a metaphor, you don't, you could interpret it in many ways. They are reinterpreting spirituality, the meaning of the apocalypse, the meaning of history, and more things will be uncovered. Just recently in Egypt, they discovered a new door and new things, and someone prophesies that more will be discovered so that
Yeah.
we all, as a humanity, remember who actually we are. So, for a long time, we have drowned in indoctrination paradigms of darkness. We believe that was it. And now, more and more people, those people who started, you said that are supposed to give the light to others. They are the pioneers, pillars of light. Their mission is to work as pillars of light, transmit the knowledge so that we go back home to the kingdom
Yeah.
of heaven that we fell from, if you want, that we lost. somehow,
Yeah.
which is somehow within, I believe. And to relate it
Yeah.
to what you just said, this individual consciousness that was in separation and was limited is now expanding again to see that, oh, there isn't just me, my home, my car, there is more. I am connected to you, me, Karim, everybody on earth, and I am connected to the whole universe. And how ironic, I had a recording with a woman just yesterday before you, and we talked about the downloads. We explained the
Yeah.
downloads. This is exactly when Karim saw that he saw geometrical shapes. These are downloads directly from source. They come directly because we are one with source if we have enough space within. So these downloads, the codes that he had, they come as instant knowledge within. You simply know the truth. It
Yeah.
leads you, it shows you the way. And that was your mission, I suppose, when the being of light spoke to you. But at that time, we couldn't talk about that. We couldn't. We had to keep quiet about it. But now the energies are helping us. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Karim, then, in his corpus of data, years of research and digging and doing all this work in esotericism, in spirituality, in history, they go really well together because they support each other.
Yeah.
Karim
Definitely.
then, therefore, has a lot, a lot of stuff to share with us. I mean, so much stuff that maybe we could talk for hours, but you're gonna have to be selective as to, I'm gonna leave that to you, which stories you think we could begin with. Shall we begin with religion? Shall we begin with history? What would you like to
Yeah.
begin with? Unless you want to continue with your awakening journey, or we covered that
Yeah.
one.
I just wanna point out that this door that they found in Egypt, on the pyramid of Egypt, the Grand Pyramid. I thought that I already discovered that door a long time ago. I was surprised that they found it just recently.
Mm,
Uh, but to be to be what do we say? To be precise on one of the points, one of the essential points, we are now in the age of Pisces, and the age of Pisces is two fish going in the opposite direction. Now in an age of conflict,
mhm.
of ideas, a lot of uh, two different streams that go against each other. But soon, after the age of Pisces, we are heading towards the age of Aquarius,
We're
which
starting.
is
Yeah.
soon. It's happening soon. Yeah, we're starting. So when this is over, the age of Pisces, with all this contradiction and conflict and all that, we're going into an age when there is one stream of consciousness. It's the age of Aquarius. Uh, Maybe there will be one world religion, one world spirituality, one stream of
Spirituality.
consciousness, when probably the whole population, the whole world will be uh, maybe at that time we'll be having this collective consciousness.
Mm,
So the
mm.
age of Aquarius is very important uh, in the in what's happening to us in the future, maybe in the near future. So these people, Billy Carson or Graham Hancock and Timothy Hogan, Johnny
Mm,
Enoch,
mm.
these people are my friends and are also leading the path towards the truth and the knowledge. Although you may you may feel that some of the ideas
Conflict.
yeah, so because some of the things I believe that it's a matter of interpretation, how you
Mm.
interpret this, and as you said before, so we need to reinterpret everything because we have been conditioned by the matrix, the socio-economic and religious matrix that have been
Patriarchy. Patriarchy.
yeah, it's been conditioning
Mm,
us to think the way they wanted us to think.
mm,
But then again, uh, sometimes, like in the age, like in the previous ages, when there is a lot of people who comes in philosophy and try to change, give new ideas,
Mm.
like religion. So we are going now into a new phase.
Mm. So if
Uh,
I need to rephrase what you just said, the age of Pisces, what we see now, too much conflicting information, sometimes opposites,
yeah,
because I do a lot of research and we want to maybe talk about the Aranuki because there are terrifying stuff about it. And we have so much to
Anunnaki.
talk about. Yeah, and so opposing, you hear one story here and it's opposite there and so on. So what we are trying to do, and especially in this series, was that you know what? Let's put the pieces of the puzzle together. I mean, that person comes with that piece of the puzzle, that one comes with that piece of the puzzle. Let's see how they fit. Because maybe it's someone looking at it from that perspective, the other one is looking from that perspective. If we bring them
Yeah.
together, maybe they will make more sense or something. So, just as you said, so later when we go deeper into the age of Aquarius, which I think we're starting, but to get into this one unified consciousness, we would have needed to collected all the pieces of the puzzle and then, okay, now we see what's happening. It's the remembering, it's the connecting things together. And I think it will take decades, I suppose, right? I
Well, I
think
don't know. We're approaching the age of Aquarius now. It's gonna happen
we're
soon.
going faster. We're going faster ahead.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
are ahead of time. We are ahead of time.
I think what's happening now with this, every like thousands of years, like in the like the late ice age, it was like rebooted humanity.
Mm-hmm,
Humanity rebooted, and I think that we are now going into a reboot system.
mm-hmm,
We're now approaching the reboot of a humanity.
mm-hmm,
The pandemic that hit the earth, all the economic crises, are there to make us think how minimal we are in front of the powers of nature and in front of the sinister ideas of some people who are in control, these deep states who wants to control the masses. Um, but at the end, it's people, us, the which are
who
who
have the
are
power,
going to,
who have the
well,
power.
exactly, exactly, and they will be awakened definitely, and understand that everything that is happening, these conditioning, is to keep us quiet, to enslave us, yeah, inside the system. And this is, by the way, what the Anunnaki did thousands of years ago. They came here to enslave humanity, and Enki, one of the
So
he
So the Anunnakis, I hear some say that they were sky people. Paul Wallis and Billy Carson, I heard them talk about that. They were sky people who came here. They had a civilization, Atlantis. Other people, they have scare tactics. They are bad. They are evil. They are. Who are?
yeah,
Who could you tell us a little bit about the who are these people? The Anunnaki.
yeah.
Okay, they are advanced. They came from the sky, but are they good guys, bad guys? Are they related to the giants, to the fallen angels? Who are they?
Yeah, the Anunnaki, I mean, in my research, I found it that Anunnaki that appeared in Sumer are not that old. Are not that old. I mean, like how, I don't know, they give them like 200,000 years. Are not that old. It's happening. It happened around 12,000 BC, 13,000 BC, not that old. And they are the fallen angels. They are the same as the fallen angels who appeared in the book of Enoch, because Enlil, one of their leader who wants to enslave humanity, is the same as Ananil, the angel who fell according to the book of Enoch. And if you compare Ananil with Enlil, it's the same being. So
Hmm.
whether you call them cosmic beings or fallen angels, they were here to enslave humanity. They didn't have they're not connected to Atlantis. I don't think they are connected to
Some
Atlantis.
stories say that they
Yeah, I know.
established the Atlantean civilization, and I think one day in the future we're gonna discover, as you said, we're gonna see
Yeah,
the real truth. So we're just exchanging, as we say, whatever research we have. So your
yeah.
point of view is that, uh,
So the Anunnaki are basically led by Enlil, who wants to enslave humanity, and there is Enki, who wanted to liberate humanity from the enslavement of Enlil in the Sumerian mythology. But Enki is the same as Enoch, is the same as Hermes, is the same as Mercury. So it's a generic name that gives you the idea that there were people back then who wanted, from the beginning, to help humanity reach the divinity that was planned for them. Because why we are here? We are here, if let's say, if Earth is a laboratory for us to experience, the end game is to develop and become divine, because
yes,
divinity is in us, as Jesus said, the kingdom of God is inside you. So the Anunnaki, they were jealous, like the fallen angels in the book of Enoch. They were jealous.
jealous
They
of the
were, I
creation.
mean, jealous of the humanity plan to become divine.
Mm, 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 mm.
They started uh, to enslave us, and they played with our gene, and uh, they they tried to lead us to darkness.
Yeah, and
And
some.
then came
Mhm.
and then came Enoch, who was selected by the good angels, the good watchers, to save humanity uh, from what the Anunnaki or the fallen angels or what Satan, I mean the darkness, did. So it's all the fight between light and darkness.
Exactly. So they are the good ones, the ones in the light, the ones we're not gonna say good and bad because God is the darkness and God is the light, and the darkness is in service of the light. They sort of complete each other. We are all one in a way. This is how I see it. So
No,
these
it's not, sorry, you cannot see this in unity. I mean, God, God is one. You
yeah,
cannot, as the Pythagorean teachings of the numbers, theology of the numbers, one is unity. When you go into duality, it's the breaking of unity. So the
exactly.
manifested word, so the condition of the manifested word, the physical word, is based on duality. Our role, if we want to follow the Pythagorean teachings, is to go into the triad. And when we go into the triad, we have to escape the evil deed of the dyad, of duality, because duality is the break of unity.
Mm.
So when you go into the trinity, the triad, then you go back to the one. That's the Pythagorean teachings in the theology of numbers. So darkness and light is a break of unity. God is one. It's the great monad, you know, absolute oneness.
Hmm.
Our goal is to become one with the divine
To go back, yeah,
by
into unity,
exactly by
light. Yeah.
yeah.
You lost electricity, I suppose. Anyway, our session is almost over now. We're gonna continue in another episode, guys. To be continued with Karim Al Koussa. They lost the power in Lebanon. We
Hold
continued
on.
to be no. The time is finishing up. So to be continued in our next episode. Stay tuned. We're gonna dig deeper with Karim Al Koussa into more of this stuff. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Do comment below, share your ideas, your thoughts, like if you like our videos. And Karim, I see you in the next episode to be continued. All right, in the next
Yeah,
recording.